All right, we are live. Alex Hormozi said to F happiness. I was watching an interview, very good interview, with Tony Robbins, and Tony said something to Alex. Alex is such a cool guy, but his mindset, if you follow it, will lead to lack of joy and happiness in your life. He was talking to Tony. And by the way, in this video, I'm going to show how to shift from stress to peace, from lack of joy to joy, and then from scarcity and uncertainty to clarity and happiness. So stay tuned, because I experienced this in my own life. So as Alex and Tony were talking, Alex he was learning. It was one master learning from the master. And Alex was asking him, he was getting to the point about happiness, and he said, F happiness. And Tony's like, you value pain so much that you've hypnotized yourself to not experience any happiness. And Alex is amazing. He's reached levels of success at 36 that most of us never will. And he's not stopping anytime soon. But I really felt for him in this moment, because in his pursuit of success in reaching the next level, he's not allowed himself to experience the joy and peace and happiness that he should along the way. And I was there. I remember 2020. I was hustling and hustling and hustling, and then all of a sudden on a call, much like this, except I was on a call with my clients live, I started a little cough, and then it got worse and worse and worse and worse. Pretty soon, I was sick in bed, and day after day, week after week, month after month, for 6 months, I was bedridden. Yes, I got up to go to the bathroom, but it was a major chore to get out of bed and use the bathroom. And so as I was laying there sick in bed, first and foremost, I'm like, how am I going to survive? How is my business going to survive? Am I going to be homeless? All these thoughts and fear were going through my mind. And I remember one day, I think it was like month 3, I was thinking, if I'm not performing, who am I? If I'm not doing X, where do I get my significance? Can you relate to that? I was getting all my significance from performing and getting my business to the next level and serving people, which was good, but there was a void there. And this sickness really revealed an emptiness I had in my life. And so it was around month 3.5 to 4, I was in bed and I was having lots of conversations with God. It's like, God, heal me, help me. I got to the point, before I talked to Mike about my conversation with God, I got to the point where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was praying to God and just asking him, how do I survive with my business? And around that time came to mind Wim Hof breathing, ice baths, if you know Wim Hof, the Iceman. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start doing, I started with a cold shower and shocked my system. And it gave me enough energy with the Wim Hof breathing to get out of bed, and then the cold shower to work for 4 hours. Then I collapsed for another 12 to 14 hours. And I had to repeat this pattern daily. But I wasn't performing to where I was before. And so I was losing my sense of identity. Have you ever been there? And one day, about month 4 now, maybe month 4.5, I was laying in bed and tears, hot tears, were rolling down my cheek. Not from pain, not from exhaustion, but from joy. Now check this out. Why did I have joy? Because I shifted my perspective from all the things that I don't have to all the things that I do have and get to do. It's so easy to take for granted those little things when your health is perfect and you're not thankful or grateful for it. So those hot tears of joy happened because as I was talking to God, I realized I can see, I can hear, I can taste, I can feel. I have all my five senses. So in that moment, I took joy in the things that I had. And I realized as I laid there all my life, I was always focused on the things that I have to do. Oh, I have to do this. I have to go to work tomorrow. Oh, this client has a problem, so I need to talk to them. I need to put out this fire. I have to put out this fire. I don't have this yet. My brain was wired to have to in the things I don't have. That was my total focus. And it really drove an inner misery that I was not even self-aware until I was in bed over 4 months sick with this cough that was miserable. It actually, the cough came in umbilical hip hernia. So it was one of the best things that happened to me, because in that moment, as I was experiencing joy, tears of joy, I was focusing on, hey, I still have shelter. I still have food. I can still walk, and barely. And I came up with this phrase that is a value that I live by today. Alex was valuing the pain, and he values the pain so much that it drives him to embrace the pain and go to the next level. But as Tony Robbins said with Alex, you hypnotize yourself to not experience happiness. I encourage you to watch the interview. This YouTube search, Tony Robbins, Alex Hormozi podcast, and you'll find it. Great interview, by the way. So now that I realized that I had joy just for those five senses, this is the quote that I come up with in one of my values, which is vastly different from Alex's. Joy doesn't come from getting what you want. It appears when you realize, absolutely realize and understand all the things that you have and get to do. Get to do. I moved from have to get to. From all the things I don't have to all the things and people I realize I do have in my life. And your perspective, when you shift it from have to get to, it will change your outlook on everything. And yes, joy will appear in your life. Now, and I started realizing all the little things subconsciously that I wasn't aware of before that I was going through each and every day. Like I have a CFO, which is my chief fun officer, also known as my dog. And I brush her teeth. And I would think, oh, I have to brush your teeth, because I'd brush your teeth every other day at the time. I'm like, oh, this is the day I have to brush your teeth. And I'm like, oh gosh, I was catching myself. I have to brush your teeth. I didn't even realize subconsciously that I was saying that before. So I want you to think about, if you have a feeling, where is that feeling coming from? And get an awareness, because there's a reason for that feeling. And I guarantee it's because your perspective on what you are facing or because of where you are. And I guarantee it's going to be, I have to do this. I don't have this, instead of I get to do this, and look at all that I have. Look at all the people in my life. If you can shift that perspective, it will change your world, and you will experience joy and happiness like never before. Perspective is everything. So back to my dog. I thought to myself, you know what? If she wasn't here, I wouldn't have to brush her teeth. But she is here, so I get to brush her teeth. And being my kids are grown and out of the house, if you have a dog or an animal, you know how precious they can be to you. So I get to brush her teeth. And as I started going through a lot of different things, I started to become self-aware of all the negative talk, just like Alex was embracing the suck, the pain, because he knew if he got this, he's going to get to the next level. So why are you living? And is it worth living to get to $100 billion? What's Elon Musk worth? 700 billion, something like that. Is it worth getting to a certain level? And maybe it is for you, and that's okay. And have a lack of fulfillment, joy, and happiness in your life? I say no. You can have success and joy at the same time. It's just how you approach it. Yes, doing hard things is difficult, and embracing the suck to a certain place, understanding that formation and transformation happens in the pressure, just like coal under the pressure is formed into a diamond. And it's same true for you and me, but in the process, you can realize, yes, I'm getting formed. Yes, I'm getting transformed, but look at all that I get to do and all that I have. If you remember this as you go through your day, every time you have a feeling that takes you to a place where you have a negative thought or you start to feel dread, have you ever been there? I guarantee it's one of these thoughts that are going through your mind and you haven't been self-aware. So start training your brain to go from have to get to, from all that you don't have to realizing all that you have and all the people in your life. And when you do this, you'll realize that joy does not come from getting what you want. It appears when you realize all that you have and get to do. Check it out.